Hello, hello, gamers. How are we doing? Welcome in, folks. Guess what, gamers? We're back. That's right. We finished the Wright trilogy. What? That's crazy. Never thought the day would happen. Never thought we'd beat it. But we've done it. And now we've moved on to a new era with new protagonists and new characters and new everything. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Hello, hello. Very excited. Do not... But okay, I'm gonna say this right now. I've been playing around with, the museum. And I've been playing around with the animation studio. And I've officially adopted Apollo. He is my son. I've adopted him. So will be no bullying of Apollo. Thank you. Because if you bully Apollo, you're bullying my child. So, there. Alright. Are we ready for a new era of new live streams? New protagonists. I don't know if I'm gonna do... I'll probably just end up doing my regular voice for Apollo. To be honest. It gets stressful trying to do voices for the protagonist. That's why Phoenix just became my normal voice. I'm like, I can't do a voice for him. I'll probably do the same for Apollo. Oh, let's do this. Also, it's a new game, completely new game. Turnabout Trump. So let me know how the audio levels are, if they're too loud or something, because I can adjust them. If they're too quiet, you can't hear them at all. I'm excited for this. Me too! I barely know anything about these games. Showdown time. Yeah, I know my audio is fine. I meant the game's audio, because I haven't adjusted it. You lose. Ugh. Uh-oh. Because there's music right now. Like, can that be heard? Can the music be heard? Because I can hear it. Ooh. I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Music's quiet. Dead. Someone hit him hard. Okay, I'll turn it up then. Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that. I'm gonna wait till it's like stagnant music. And then we'll go and try to fix it. Together, chat. We'll fix it together. April 20th, 9:37 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Alright, we got music now. So. Oh! Apollo! Okay. So we're gonna play around with the audio. How is it? They have a painting of the judge. Yeah, that's new. Pretty sure it's been a time skip. I think it's been like 7 years since the final game. Damn, I can't believe he's dead. So that's the audio for the music. Does it need to go up? Does it need to go down? Because I can fix it right now. It took like 3 streams of Wright to get that perfect. I can't really hear it myself. Increase it up a little. Gotcha. Wright was just a really, really loud game. How's that? That works? It's good? You can hear me over it, but you can still hear it well enough that everything's good. Alright. Thank you. If it needs to be adjusted, please let me know. I do not mind fixing it. Thank you, thank you. Let's go. panicked, palms sweaty. I can admit it. I'm nervous. Good morning. I don't know who this is. Hello. Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight. Wound up, sir? No, I'm loose. I'm fine. That screeching noise. Is that your voice? Oh, no. I suppose it's to be expected. Your first trial, and it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine. I got up at 5 a.m. to do my Chords of Steel voice workout. I'm fine. That explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. I overdid it again. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down, if you get my drift. Gotcha, I won't fail. Drift gotten, sir. I'm all over that drift. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. Okay. So what you're saying, Christoph, last name unknown, Gavin, Christoph Gavin, is that you were at the scene of the crime. We can't let this case fall through. Yeah, yes, I'm fine, sir. One more thing. How old are you? 32. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. Okay. Where's the client? My name is the Batman. My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. No, for reals? You are? Crazy, crazy. And today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants to help him out, of course. And so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way. Never, ever. That'd be crazy. Crazy. For the tutorial case, to give you a defendant that is guilty. That is clearly guilty. It's like, oh man. I'm really defending this guy? Alright. Hello! Oh my God. Hi. How are you? Come here often? So... Whoa! Good morning. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial. Nervous. Meeting him. Cardiac arrest. Aw, my sweet boy. My sweet Apollo. This is I think I'm supposed to say something. Help. So, you're fine. I'm fine. Mr. Fine, is it? I did remember you having an odd name. Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? This is the most awkward conversation. I feel so much for Apollo. He's actually me. Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney. And he's your friend, so why... You'll see. Ooh. You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. It's time. Shall we? Yes, sir! Yes! Yes! Ooh. Okay. Need to focus. First trial. Here comes justice. Let's go! April 20th. It's 4:20! It's 4:20! At 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Court is now in session. This judgy never ages. Never ages. Oh, God. You know, he looks younger. He looks younger. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is, fine, ready, Your Honor. Payne looks like he's ready to run away. Oh, mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late. Little, oh, he's so cute. Your name was Mr. Justice? It's like you were born for this job. And this is your first trial? Yes, Your Honor. But I'm fine, really. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained, like you've been up all night crying. Mr. Gavin? Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. That was my intention, yes. However, a defense attorney must always cede to his client's wishes. And my client specifically requested Mr. Justice. Interesting. Well, of course he wants justice. But I don't think he meant this guy. But to entrust his case to this greenhorn, why? Bro is sweating more than the Niagara Falls. I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience. Fine, but does he have cords of steel? He's so cute. I love Apollo so much. Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. Then let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. Hey. It's Mr. Question mark, question mark, question mark. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see. Mr. Wright! Wah! Crazy! Who could have seen this coming? Mr. Wright! Any relation? Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright, piano player. Yep. Alright. Phoenix Wright? What? Mr. Wright, how could this have happened? I won't speak of it further then. Let's read the things now. We got Christoph Gavin, age 32. Boss at Gavin Law Offices, a first-rate defense attorney, and my trusted mentor. We got Phoenix Wright, pianist at the Borscht Bowl Club, formerly an ace defense attorney of some renown. Shady Smith, the victim of this case, a traveler only recently back in the country. And Winston Payne, age 61, the prosecuting attorney. For all his experience, he lacks a certain presence. Oh gosh, Phoenix is 33, so it's been like 7 or 8 years. I don't remember how old he was in the final game. I think he was like 25, 26. 26, I think. So it's 7 years. 7 years. Wow. What happened to you, Phoenix Wright? You wear a beanie now. I won't speak of it further then. If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne. To think I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I'll see you leave in chains. Ah, Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see. Mr. Payne, I'm pretty sure you were also the prosecution on Phoenix Wright's case. Ahem. The crime occurred at the Borscht Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. This isn't the first time, Payne, that you've seen Phoenix accused of murder. I'm pretty sure it's happened before. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him, wham, on the head, smack, killed him cold. A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was? The pianist. For the club, it seems. Phoenix Wright, a pianist? This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. Grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice. Ah, yes. Grape juice, of course. The court accepts this deadly bottle as evidence. Oh, I didn't look at our court record. Oh, is it? Okay. Go on, Christoph. Tell me how to open the court record. Something to note, Justice. All evidence is filed in the court record. Who could have seen this coming? Make a practice of checking it frequently. The court record. Right, I've heard of that. Oh my goodness. Use RB to look at the evidence so far. I'm glad that it tells me controller controls now. Unfortunately, I'm on a PlayStation controller. It's, actually, Gavin, it's R1, okay? Alright. Oh, I can examine things in this game. Ooh. There's a number inscribed on the back of the badge. There are many numbers like it, but this one is mine. Proof that I'm an attorney. To tell the truth, I get a happy feeling inside just looking at it. Aww. We got our autopsy report. Victim's name, Shady Smith. Age, question mark, male. Estimated time of death, April 17th. Wow, it's been 3 days? That's crazy. Usually it's the next day. Imagine this is all a cruel prank. Phoenix and Christoph, Payne and the judge set up to traumatize Apollo. This is actually a mock trial, but the only one who's not aware it's a mock trial is Apollo. At the end, they're like, all right, great going, guys. Great going, everyone. And he's like, what? What? Why is everyone smiling? Between 1:45 a.m. and 2:15 a.m. Cause of death, cerebral hemorrhaging resulting from blunt trauma to the forehead. Okay. Crime photo 1. The sub-basement at the Borscht Bowl Club. Alright. That's a pretty sick way to die. Just... And grape juice bottle used as the murder weapon bears the defendant's, Mr. Wright's, prints. Alright. The bottle is completely empty. Awesome. That's it? That's all you gotta say? Grape juice. How long has it been since I drank grape juice? Apparently it's Mr. Wright's favorite drink. I wonder how well it goes with borscht. Okay. I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Right. Just use RB. Sounds like it's time for some hands-on action. They have a twist where Phoenix pretends to stab Payne, Apollo screams, and then the corpse proceeds to laugh. I mean, it's like hazing. How they like haze people in like colleges and stuff at frat houses. It's like the lawyer version of hazing. He's doing mock trials, except the defense attorney has no idea what's happening. Like, alright. And then we'll stab you. So, the victim was a customer at this restaurant. But just who was this, Shady Smith fellow? He sounds quite shady. Plot twist, Phoenix and Payne are besties.
We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor.
A traveler?
According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He'd only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear.
And he had some sort of connection with the defendant?
That, too, is unclear at the present, Your Honor. We believe they first met at the Borscht Bowl Club on the night of the crime.
If they had only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing?
That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill. At least, not playing piano. I'll let this photo explain what I mean.
Okay.
As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime.
Judge's eyes look like they're about to pop out. Oh, wait a second! Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and of itself.
Indeed, it appears our defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal.
Objection!
It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that. A game. In the purest sense, a competition, Your Honor.
Competition?
Yes, a test of wits. A silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame know its final outcome. Come again?
The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present and impress women.
I can't believe Phoenix would do gambling. He has fallen so far. Fallen back into the ashes he once rose from. That will be our first order of business here, then. To find out more about this fatal game of cards. Very well, defendant. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime. My pleasure.
This is it. My first trial. Here goes nothing. I got this.
Witness testimony. The competition. I just realized this game has history. Oh, that would have been so nice in the Phoenix Wright trilogy for those times I accidentally skipped the dialogue. I'm a pianist by trade. Yeah, I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is. A game. And our customers are happy. A pianist who can't play piano. Better than a defense attorney who can't defend. Oh! This guy's one to talk. Very well. The defense might begin the cross-examination.
Right, Your Honor.
First cross-examination. Don't blow it. Are you alright? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir. You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times. Though you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? No need. I've been playing the Ace Attorney trilogy for every single day for the past few weeks. I don't need a refresher on how cross-examination works. What to do? Should I ask Mr. Gavin for a refresher course in cross-examination? I'm alright. It's okay. No need for help here, sir. I think I've got this one covered. I think you'd better do more than think. You know it, or you do not. I know. I'm fine. The cords of steel are ready for battle. It's It's hella depressing seeing Phoenix like this, yeah.
My weapons. Press and present. I just said I don't... Oh, my mic. I just said I don't need a refresher, Apollo. Don't you dare tell me how to play this game.
Find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it.
I miss Mia.
Mia wasn't this patronizing.
Inconsistencies, lies? Phoenix Wright, he would never lie. He would never, ever, ever lie. As if Phoenix Wright would never lie.
And it's up to me to prove it. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Let's go. The competition. I'm a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. What the fuck? They pay you just to play poker? That would seem to be the case. I am a professional after all.
Bah! Do I detect pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hard-working member of society like me to imagine.
Yes. Your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston.
What?
I've played poker for 7 years in that little room. And I've never lost. Once. Whoa, that's crazy. What? You see why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw.
Wait, you've never lost once? Not even one time?
Well, one time. There was this guy, Matt on... Wait, are we talking about poker still? As I said, I'm a professional.
He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once? Is that even possible?
I love Apollo's little bracelet. It's so cute. The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction? It has quite a history, actually. The Borscht Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day. Black market? All in the past. Things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table. Right here, in that room. Something is really fishy about this trial. Yeah.
Very fishy.
A smoky room, gambling hoods, you know? Just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. The bosses gather around the table, cutting deals, safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch through the small window. I can practically picture it now. That window does like it would be good for keeping a lookout, but little else. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. Alright. 2 decks of cards? A simple measure to prevent cheating. If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor. Precisely. Cards on the table, cards upon the floor, each one forming a complete deck. A crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. Incidentally, we use 2 types of cards at the club. One deck of cards was red, and the other blue. As I recall in poker, you make 5-card hands. I can see how it'd be easy to cheat. Yes.
game of hands.
Oh. This competition you're talking about. I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently.
That's right. It was a simple game, after all.
Are you sure?
Huh?
People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. I wonder how traumatized fans were when this game came out. What happened to Phoenix? Defendant, you were in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. Did you claim no connection to the crime?
Now that's strange.
What's strange?
I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor.
He got so snarky and sassy. Like, he was sassy before, but now he's like 1,000% more sassier.
Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense.
Apollo, say the line, Apollo. Say the line. Ugh, I completely let that one slip by. Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right. There's something I'd like made clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. And I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not? Very well. The defendant will amend his testimony. Just one little press, and I've got myself a whole new testimony. I plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Okay, well, you don't need to lie. It has your fingerprints. You don't need to lie. So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon? This bottle of grape juice? Grape juice bottle? Grape juice bottle. So I said. Is something the matter, Mr. Justice?
Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb.
What's this, Mr. Payne?
I examined the bottle in question, you see, and it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints.
Objection! No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. Oh, he's so adorable. Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears and our case. But what about my cords of steel?
Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant?
Oh, well, that's true. The prince did have the... Oh. Well, that's true. The prints alone don't prove he did it.
Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints.
Huh? What do you mean they're not normal?
But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down.
Upside down? What does that mean?
It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there can only be one reason for that. Yes. To brain someone with the bottle.
Ugh. Payne thinks he's slaying.
Mr. Gavin, I think things have just taken a turn for the worse.
Oh, I see no problem, Justice. He's guilty. Lock him up.
Huh?
The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything you'll see. The defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. Ooh. For now. Okay. Okay, Phoenix. Okay, you know, Phoenix, if you were the defense attorney, you'd be pissed off right now. You'd be like, why is my defendant such a... Why won't he just talk? You'd be pissed off, Phoenix. Ugh. Phoenix has become a hypocrite. Phoenix became the very thing he swore to destroy. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case.
I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
Objection!
Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Why are you beatboxing, Mr. Gavin? Reported?
Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright, but still, that...
Really?
Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone.
Near the scene?
Let's take a look at the diagram of the murder scene, shall we? The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. Of course. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. Whoa. He looks cool. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant.
I see. And this is the phone that made that call. Oh my gosh, he still has that phone. That's the phone he had in the first game. Wright's cell phone added to the court record. Used by the defendant to notify the police from the restaurant's first floor. Oops, not the bottom. No. Look at his phone. Wow, the battery's being held in with a piece of tape. He should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it. Or he just doesn't care. Okay, Apollo. Don't need to be rude. Oh, look at this. Look at his little phone. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative?
Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I'd better not waste this.
I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being.
Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about...
What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred?
How can you possibly know this?
That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness. Oh boy. It's the murderer! Whoever it is, it's the murderer.
You're as good as they say you are. So someone else was in the room the night of the crime. That must mean they witnessed the crime.
Everything up till now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? This is where the real fun begins. Very well, the prosecution may call its first witness to the stand.
Oh? The witness will state her name and profession.
It's Maya. That'd be crazy. Maya's like, yeah, Nick did it. He's the murderer. Back him up. Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness? She is cowering.
I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns. So I used a little hair gel. Relax, people.
Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off.
You are sure?
I swear it on my gavel. Please come out. Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor?
Well, if you are sure it is okay.
Now the prosecution? Oh, but wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's, paraphernalia?
Yes. She is a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade.
Judge is forcing her to come out. And that would be?
My name is My name is Olga Orley. I am employed as waitress in Borscht Ball Club restaurant.
Then why the camera?
Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht that is naming a restaurant. But I also perform, how it is said, other service.
I take it one of these other services is taking the customer's pictures?
Dada. Like for example, this one.
Oh. Thanks. That's the defendant?
Indeed, on the night of the murder. Man in white hat is one who has gone kaput.
Indeed. That is the victim? Order! Order! This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps.
It is same way as they drop cold bowls of borscht on laps of customers. Casually.
Then the court will casually accept this new evidence. Olga's photo added to the court record. Alright. Alright. The defendant and Mr. Smith at the Borscht Bowl Club.
Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder? I was in room, the hideout we call it.
Excuse me? The hideout?
It is room where famous gangster bad guy was arrested.
It's weird seeing a game in this franchise in higher quality. It's wild, right? That's how I felt seeing the jump from the pixelated graphics on the Nintendo DS to the HD quality of the Wright trilogy. And now this is HD fancy.
It is room where famous gangster bad guy was arrested. It is room where murder took place.
What?
Your look of utter surprise. It is lovely. I will post by courtroom door later for you. Dada, photos will be numbered and you will write which ones you want copy of.
So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime? The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orley, her witness. I don't like her. She creeps me. Is it because she's a Russian? And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about the night's events. It's her taking photos all the time. It's just her quirk. It's her character quirk, okay? Okay? Lotta takes photos all the time. You saying she's creepy? That fateful night.
That night, customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on, da. The victim, he plays whole time with hand on locket at his neck. The last hand is done, but something terrible has happened, da. That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death.
Nope. Lotta doesn't take photos every second of her life. You don't know that. You don't know her. She would if film wasn't expensive. She said that. She said that. Incidentally, who won the game?
Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
Objection! That doesn't make sense. That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright
can't lose. Justice? Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection. But he hadn't lost in 7 years. Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as prosecutor either. Incidentally, I have some evidence here. Alright. These are the poker chips as they lay the very moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith.
Chips, you say? I love, like, in the investigation, they're like, alright, what are some important things to capture photos of? I know. The results of this poker game. Chips, you say?
I mean, yes, I imagine the poker is war. Your hands is your army, and the chips are the spoils.
I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3.
I think he means poker face.
Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table.
Defendants and victims' chips when crime occurs.
Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Okay. He didn't strangle him. He didn't strangle him.
I read the autopsy report, and don't you dare tell me it was updated.
He was struck on the head.
Really? Strangled, you say? That's odd. Duh. Normal customers only choke on bush. No, I mean, this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head.
Miss Orley?
Really now? Did you witness the crime?
That was cute. Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything.
Yet, it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during our investigation.
Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? This head certainly was hit.
Alright. But I have seen it happen.
Okay. Interesting. And then... Okay. Alright.
The defendant, he lunged at victim. His neck.
Oh, really, Miss Orley?
Miss Orley, I think I've caught you in your own lie this time, idiot.
Justice, you're the idiot. Okay, well... I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this one through more. Once more.
What do you mean?
I found a contradiction. That's my whole job. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination. There's such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too.
That night, customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was called both players play with hats on. The victim, he plays whole time with his hand at locket at his neck.
Oh! He doesn't have to lock it.
Objection!
Photo. You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. It's so funny to me how some of the characters seem to be telepathic during court. I like, yeah. Like, there was definitely, like, some telepathy going on with the Fae girls in Phoenix. Like, they were always reading his thoughts. But sometimes I like to imagine that these thoughts that are in, like, the protagonist's head, I like to imagine that sometimes they're just thinking so loud that they're whispering under their breath. They're like, you know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. And Kristoff's just like, what is he doing? Why is he talking like that?
But what does it mean? What does it mean?
Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about?
Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on locket at his neck, I believe she said. I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar. No, but look at this photograph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck?
Well done, Justice. You're not an idiot anymore. I'm impressed. You've graduated. I knew you'd be able to handle this.
But what does it mean?
If we're to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death.
Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor.
It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off, no? Taken it off?
Wait, you don't mean...
The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Oh! Defendant, what do you have to say to this? Oh, look at that. He is wearing... Is that the same locket? Well, it's on that one. Oh, that's 100% it. You know, he took his locket. Phoenix. Phoenix. Say.
Yes.
I just noticed this, but you have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Oh? You mean this? Yeah, it's a locket. With a photograph inside. Okay. A photo of my daughter.
Pew, pew, psh, crashing sounds. Pew.
What? It's crazy. He's a dad? It's almost like his hat says Papa. Come again. Mr. Wright, you have a daughter?
We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter.
So Mr. Wright has a locket too? Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence? Phoenix is like, listen, I just stole that dead guy's locket just so I could have something to put my daughter's picture in. Alright. Well now, if the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game.
Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost. Badly.
Miss Orley? You will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and the defendant.
Duh.
The game began with 3,500 points in chip for each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who was winning, it was victim. For last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and... Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game.
As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow.
Ah. How many times have I heard these words? I done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret it. A common tale, but true. Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies.
Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. Phoenix would never lose! The game began with 3,500 points and chips.
Okay. Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used?
Duh, of course.
Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? Yeah. Maybe you can explain a bit about these chips?
Explain? What is there to be explained? Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. Not a chip off the old block. Not a motorcycle chip. Not.
Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles even?
Yet, as I have been saying before, it was game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. Two types of chip, 100 points chip and 1,000 points chip. It is not money, da.
Justice? Sir? Don't you find her comment interesting? Sure, sir, I bet. Yep. In more ways than one, sir. I'd have it added to her testimony myself. Well, does the defense want the witness to add to her testimony? Nah, we don't need it.
Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny.
Add it to the testimony. Wish I knew where I was going with this. Very well, witness. You would be so kind.
Your Honor. One kind of chip is worth 100 points. Other kind is worth 1,000.
Two kinds in all. Okay, let's do some math. She said the game began with 3,500 points of chips. Okay. So, it's hundreds and thousands, right? So, if the small ones are hundreds, that'd be 600. That'd be 10,600. That's not the points. So that would make the small ones be 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 6,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7,000. Yeah. So yeah, 7,000. So it would have to be the small ones are worth 1,000. Oh my god, I can't believe this game is making me do math. The small ones are worth 1,000. The other ones are worth 100. The big ones are worth 100, which would mean Phoenix has 1, 2, 3, 4,100, and the other guys only got like 1, 2,000. Yeah, less than that. So that means Phoenix was winning. Objection! I got her. I did the math. You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure?
It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won if you're not in kindergarten.
Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court?
Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course. Duh.
Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up. I went and I counted them.
The totals?
Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips, and the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points. Yes, if my calculations are correct. Let's see, 3 plus 1, carry the 5. They are, Your Honor. Now, Pay needs to go back to school to learn math. Look at the photo that allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, well, thanks, Apollo, for doing all the explaining for me. I just did all this math. And you add them up, how much is it? Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. I got it. Well, the chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. Well, why? Well, how could this be? Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right. It's only possible one way to explain this contradiction. Starting points are wrong, chip count was wrong. Both were right. I guess, yeah, they're both right. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can only be one answer. Well, what is it? The value of the chips was the other way around, stupid. What? You want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness, utter madness. That's ridiculous. Who would ever do such a stupid thing? Show me that photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why? That does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Anyone hear me? Does anyone see me? Hello? I'm back! Yay! The internet went out. The internet went out. Oh, jeez. I'm back though. Hi, we're back. I was just sitting here like twiddling my thumbs like, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. I need to refix my stream manager. I can't read chat. Really. Let me reload. I was like, oh no. Oh, when did I didn't even realize the internet came out. I was just like playing. I was just like, alright. Oh, jeez. Anyway, we counted the chip. I don't know when it went out. We counted the chips. It was all this. No, it's definitely fine. Kristoff was mean to me, and I don't know when it cut out. So we counted the chips. It was all the math I already said, and Kristoff was like, "It's almost like you figured it out by yourself." And now Payne did an objection. But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing. Indeed. The victim did have the larger number of chips still. Oh! Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do a little math. Add the points for each side of the table. Yeah. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points. And the defendant had 4,100 points. Well now, seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's impossible. My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning. Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime. Weren't you? Order! Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive. And Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. Yeah. We must now ask ourselves... Oh. We must now ask ourselves whether we can trust the witness's testimony at... Excuse me? What is it, Miss Orley?
I did not want to be saying this, but... Actually, you see, See what, Miss Orley? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat.
She's like turning German. I'm so sorry, Miss Olga. I'm turning you German. I don't mean it.
A cheat? You don't mean a trick?
Wait, or do you mean a scam? They're all the same thing.
Yes, there was cheat in last hand. That is why game ends with chips as they are.
Great, just great.
First we have lying, now cheating.
Well, this case certainly has taken a turn for the interesting. Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand.
The last hand, both men had full house. There is 4 of each garden deck from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument. The defendant's trick was exposed. He took bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith.
Miss Orley? Why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. A full house is a very big, very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make in my experience.
That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics.
Mr. Gavin? What's a full house?
Come on, Apollo. Lawyers these days, you don't know your poker.
I can't say this bodes well for your case or career. Why is everyone teaming up on the kid for not engaging in gambling? What is this, some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice, you know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number makes a pair, and 3 makes 3 of a kind. Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. Yep. That's a full house. It doesn't sound very easy to make, does it?
You can see each player's hand in this photo.
Wow, they both have full houses.
We forget. There's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat.
The defense may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat? Yeah. They both have full house. There's 4 of each card in deck from ace to king. If you look at both hands, it's obvious. Is it? Is it obvious that there's a cheating? Objection! Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to press. Sorry, Your Honor. I pressed the wrong button. I meant to press. I meant to back out and press her on it because I wanted to learn more about how it's obvious that it's cheating. How was it clear?
Well, the defendant, he played a 5th ace.
A 5th ace? Apollo's voice is deeper than I thought it'd be, not gonna lie. Yeah, same. Yeah, he's got a deep voice, surprisingly.
I still remember both hands very well.
She's turning German. I'm so sorry, Miss Olga. I'm turning you German.
Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2. Obviously, cheating was afoot, or perhaps I should say, a hand.
Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's joke. Very well. The witness will add this detail to her testimony, please.
Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces and Mr. Wright's 2. It is 5 aces in all.
No. They both only got 2 aces. I guess it was the right evidence. I was just kind of trying to look at the cards. And I forgot to back out. It appears the witness is mistaken. Oh.
Mistaken. But my name...
Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. He doesn't have 3 aces. What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony?
Take that!
Miss Orley, in your testimony you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces.
Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question.
I'm the 3rd ace. It's me.
Take another look at the evidence.
As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. No problem. Where's this 5th ace? I see cheating all right, and it's going on right here in this courtroom. 2 aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating.
Wait, please. It is true, I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you.
That's odd. She must be lying, yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards. The cards? Mr. Payne?
Yes.
The players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well. The prosecution will submit this as evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards? Well, the defendant's cards... the victim's cards were the ones with the problem, so we'll go with those, I guess. If these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? The victim's hand. It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well. Mr. Payne, if you would.
Very well.
Received evidence. Victim's hand. Victim's hand was left at the scene. A full house. Well, time's a-wasting. Get to it, Justice.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay. It just did it for me. When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Okay? Try using the right stick to turn it every which way, and Y and X to zoom in and out. Okay. I don't play on Xbox. I don't know what those ones translate to on a PlayStation, but I'll figure it out. That should give you a better perspective of the case. Okay, let's do this. Let's do it. Let's figure it out. Okay, so that's, okay, so my X is pressing, okay, triangle is Y. Oh, well, Has the defense found? Sorry, Your Honor. Triangles Y, circles B, and squares is X. Okay, I got it. Ah, I found the problem. Only one of the cards has a blue back. I'm much more of a red guy myself. Blue is so not red, you know? Oh, that's funny. That's a silly joke. That's a silly joke. Okay. Cards' backs are red. For some reason, I thought they were using blue-backed cards in the final hand. Well, has the defense found anything of relevance? I think I found nothing out. I did examine it. Perhaps you best examine the defendant's card before leaping to any conclusions. Or maybe you'd rather examine the cards one more time? Do I examine the other hand of cards? No, wait, no. I just accidentally hit back. No, according to testimony of the victim's hand, that changed. Better take a closer look. Yeah, I figured it out. Okay. What? Okay. Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards, the back is a different color. That's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hand. What was that, Miss Orley? No, niet. I merely said, da, I have ik. Your Honor, Mr. Gavin, yes? Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat? I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend. A comrade, shall we say. The dealer. Ooh. Did she say, but I put that in Wright's hand? Yes. She did say that. But I put that card in Wright's hand. Wait, so you mean this witness, Miss Orley, she's the teacher. A professional, I'd wager. No! Order! Order! Focus, Justice. Time to take... Olga Orly, age 21. The witness in this case, a Russian waitress at the Borscht Bowl Club. Okay. Oh. Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. of her mistake. Christoph just reads his mind. He goes, what is wrong with you? Why did I take you on? Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard. That's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hand. Ergo, Miss Olga Orly conspired to cheat, not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. Oh, so problematic. Apollo, sweetie. Oh. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. What? Wait, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orly, are you? Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident, and if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. I'm guilty. What? I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orly, of murder. Oh, she died. wrap it up. Great case, everyone. Great tutorial. Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Olga Orley?
It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor.
Mr. Justice? Your Honor? It seems you have I can't speak today. Presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and Mr. Smith. And that means this court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time.
What? I did it! I held out!
I see no point in prolonging this trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
Objection!
Phoenix. Mr. Wright? You can't end a trial here, Your Honor. Not yet.
What nonsense is the defendant spewing now? Think.
One of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous.
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know, Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night. As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night.
That was said before.
The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed. We used different colors and they still got mixed up. We used the red deck for the last game. I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. They keep saying that. Makes it seem like it's relevant. Yeah, me too. Sure, someone said something about blue cards.
Whatever. In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix, which means there was cheating.
Yeah, a card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo?
Yes?
Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think. In the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped.
Oh. It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne. Or it might not be. Phoenix helping Apollo is actually so cute, despite his situation. Yeah, it is. He's like, listen. He's like, Kristoff over there is not helping you. I'll figure this out I'll figure this out with you, Apollo. I'll walk you through the steps. I like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped into the deck? Well, she was surprised about it. It's because it sounded like she put it in Phoenix's hand. So after the murder? Perhaps it happened after the murder?
What's that? Ridiculous.
Kristoff is actually kind of useless. He's no Mia Fey. He's just being mean.
What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly.
Objection!
Yeah, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible. Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible.
Oh, even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Oh,
Quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown. After the murder. Okay, this is going past silly and straight onto crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that? Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us.
There's another?
Yeah, simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? What? Who? The game, the murder is done. The victim is dead. Only two remain in the room. Alive, that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orley. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for a blue? Phoenix? It doesn't make sense for Phoenix to have done it, because why? Why would he? Olga, she had no idea about it. So, someone else did it? The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orley, either.
What are you suggesting?
That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orley at this point. Yeah, I know, but she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card.
And if the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. It's something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright?
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is. Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant and it wasn't Miss Orley, then who was it? Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction.
A new direction?
One Direction. We'll find that, indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. And that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card. Because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right, the person replaced the fifth ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in. But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist. True, not until now, but you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility.
Oh, Phoenix, you obviously know who did it. Can you just say who did it?
There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime. Please tell the court. We're all waiting. What? I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright.
The trial has proceeded on one central assumption, namely that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room.
I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption.
The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court.
I suppose that is a problem, yes.
Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Very well. The trial will resume in 20 minutes. Alright. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright, to suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that. Oh? Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Kristoff. Justice? Yeah, sir, am I third wheeling? What's happening? The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. Okay. You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear, is that really yours, Mr. Wright? You're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. Alright, let's see it. Oh, look at her! Oh. I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? What do you think? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did? It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. I never, honest. But it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Wanna know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Is it? You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like trial law. Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you win. Yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding! No! That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. What, did she? Did you notice? No. I, never watched the sprites. No? Come on, who noticed that? Words, habits, twitches, it's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. But I'm not worthy! I'm not worthy of the secrets! I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No, you can do it. Okay, fine, I can do it. Huh? You just don't know it yet. What is he talking about? But you will soon. Almost forgot. One more thing about this case. You should know I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. Thanks, Phoenix. Go on, admit it to everyone in this court that you murdered that guy. I knew it. I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there defending me. I need your power. My, power? I had no idea my cords of steel were that special. He's so adorable. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. Continue on to the next chapter. Yes, why not? Of course. Court will now reconvene. Has our witness, Miss Olga Orley, recovered? Yes, Your Honor. Well, she's regained consciousness. Perhaps we can hear her version of events again.
That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued.
I can't help but think this whole gambling thing is a disguise. Why? Who knows? You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne. Sadly, fatigued is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Miss Orley take the stand. Very well. The witness will take the stand. Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession. Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor liar and a poorer loser. Not. Whoa! 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 She's so cool! Oh my gosh, she's so cool. Name's Olga Orley. That's the truth. I'm a pro dealer. Hi! Hi, Matt! Hi, how are you? Pirate woman! People call me Olga Quick Fingers Orley. Oh. Oh, really? Wanna know something else? I'm not really Russian, and my last name sounds like oh really. There, that's the truth. I hope you're satisfied. Awesome. Witness, you will tell the court what you were really up to that night. Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, see? Olga O'Reilly. Gang. Let me remind you that you are currently under oath. Any further fabrications will have serious consequence. Olga's a jerk. No. I'm so glad that she's taken off the Russian disguise, because I was suffering badly with the Russian accent. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do a Russian. Fine. I love it. I love that she's a pirate. I'm in love with her. Her picture got updated. A professional swindler hired by the victim to destroy Phoenix Wright's reputation. Love it. Love to see it. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy Smith hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Borscht Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game, as a waitress. So you were in cahoots with the victim? Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. The plan was simple. Elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand. And then deal 5 aces during one of their games. Whoa! He's a bit close to Phoenix there. They're like dancing. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He's searching him all right. He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut. Slay? You swapped the cards. Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it, it would have made a great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Indeed. Getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast doubt on all his prior wins. 7-year legend destroyed by one little card. That was the plan. Oh really, Orley? How droll. But it appears you made quite the mistake. A mistake? I agree. The trap was elegant. Yet what happened to that planted card?
Hey, that's right!
He's lucky, I'll give him that. You'd have to be to slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quick Fingers Orley. Oh, really? The witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind shtick. Judge, shut up. Stop talking. Cute? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad. You hear me? Bad. I love her so much. She's so awesome. When you're through being bad, perhaps you could testify to the court. Tell us about this trap and how it was sprung. Michael Jackson. The best laid traps.
That night I planted the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the hand. Lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who's hit Smith. It was that no-good, cheating defendant.
A surprisingly frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark.
That trap was perfect, I tell you, perfect. That rotten cheater had messed it up.
Look who's talking. Well, the testimony for what it's worth is all yours, Mr. Judgment. Mr. Judgment? Whoa. Mr. Justice.
With witnesses like her, who needs criminals? And with defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors?
He's so incriminating to himself.
That night I planned a crime was supposed to.
Hold it!
Wait, isn't that a little odd?
What's odd?
You searched Mr. Wright, thoroughly. You stripped him naked in the middle of the room. And all of a sudden, you found nothing. Which means he didn't cheat, which means he had no reason to strike the victim. But, well... Oh. Whoa. What was that just now? I sensed something. Something wrong, Mr. Justice? Are you unlocking your superpowers?
No, nothing, Your Honor.
What to do? Should I press her a little harder? I guess.
Miss Orley, you're hiding something.
What are you talking about?
You... Me? Quick fingers Orley, hide something? The defense will refrain from baseless accusations.
I have one question for the witness, then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true?
Of course it's true. I did see it, honest. I saw it when Wright hit him.
Ooh.
With my own eyes, I saw it.
What's this weird vibe I'm getting? Oh, that witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? Ooh. Touching her neck, was it? Whoa, whoa! She's... You're right too close, ma'am. Whoa! Hey, whoa! Whoa! What is going on? I like to imagine that Apollo is standing at his little podium, just freaking out right now, going on a trip, and everyone's just kind of staring at him like, what is he doing? Interesting visuals. He's like, run up in front of her. He like ran up to her and he's like tripping out. He's like, whoa, this is crazy. And everyone's like, what is he doing? What's going on? This sensation is coming into focus. There, that twitch, it's so clear. It's like I could perceive her habit like I couldn't before. Press the perceive button.
Gotcha!
Oh. Leaning over the fence. Miss Orley, perhaps you're unaware of this yourself.
Unaware of what?
Whenever you get to a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand.
My neck? So what?
What indeed, Justice? That makes no sense. You're stupid. I hadn't noticed anything of the sort. When she says that part of her testimony, she's subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory and she touches her neck. I'm sure of it.
A memory? Why would someone care to explain what he's babbling about?
This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defense. You claim that the witness is remembering something. Maybe you have evidence of this memory to show us? Her habit is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So what would remind her most of the moment of the crime? The bottle? Miss Orley, whenever you recall that crime unite, you scratch your neck. I've noticed that happens when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be some reason behind this habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an irreplaceable impression on your neck is this. Phoenix Wright's cell phone that he needs to upgrade. It has been so many years now, and he's had the same phone. He's had it for at least the 10 years we've known him in this franchise.
Take that!
He needs to get rid of it. Whenever she talks about the moment of the crime, she touches her neck. And what reminds us more of that moment than this bottle, the murder weapon? But something doesn't fit. If you were only the witness to the crime, why would that make you touch your neck like you're in pain? What's he talking about now? I'm pain. It was Mr. Smith who was hit. The victim who was hit, not you. This is a cross-examination, not a cross-wild conjecture. The witness's habits? They're completely irrelevant. Justice, I'll admit I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination. I'll explain later, just trust me. Now's our only chance to break her. I'm going to destroy you, Olga. Miss Orley, please testify in detail about the moment of the crime. The very moment. I don't like this Kristoff character. Yeah, he's a jerk. Get rid of him. Throw him away.
Yet, I am knowing nothing.
She's Russian again. Okay.
We know you're not Russian.
Bad vibes. He's not cool. He's no Mia. He's no Mia. I'll say this time and time again. I don't like Kristoff. He's got a weird face. The witness will testify, please, now.
Bah, fine.
He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight till the cops got there. What do you mean? He literally called what do you mean? He literally called on the first floor. What are you on about? Miss Orley, we have a record here that clearly contradicts what you said.
It states the police were alerted by report from the defendant.
And we know that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made that phone call from the first floor of the Borscht Bull Club. I can't tell if I like this angle of Phoenix, or if I hate it. I can't tell it. I don't know. I'm getting both. I like it, and I don't like it. Hard to explain. He looks nice, but he also looks off. So explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant when he left the room entirely. It doesn't even look like him. Yeah, he looks off. Oh, jeez, she exploded. The man who picked up the bottle and swung it that night wasn't the defendant. Showdown time. You dirty cheat. Check his pockets now. It's gone. The card's gone. You lose. Ah! Just then Smith grabbed the bottle from next to Wright. And he hit me. Oh, hate this guy. I'm glad he's dead. You, some master of cheating you turned out to be. When I came to, the victim was already dead. Is that it? That's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in league with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure. Well, where does this leave us? Madness. This is madness. I'm dreaming.
It must have been me who was hit with a bottle, and I'm imagining all of this.
It appears our prosecution is at his wit's end, and frankly, I can't blame him. Mr. Gavin, what do you think about this turn of events? Mr. Gavin, sir? I believe that, as the defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss Orley a big, fat liar. I don't think she's lying. This is so not Sigma. What? 3 were in that room the night of the murder. The defendant, victim, and her. And she has a motive. A motive? Her plot foil, the witness got into an argument with her client, Mr. Smith. And then an announcement of that, and then the annulment of that argument was murder.
What? I'm no killer. It's a trap. Someone's trying to frame me.
Oh, Phoenix, where are you? Oh, he just spawned in. I do like when he looks like this, though. He looks scary, but it's kind of attractive. That is not Phoenix. I'm afraid to tell you. I'm afraid to tell you, Matt. This is Phoenix Wright. He's a big boy now. He's a big boy. He's in his 30s. What happened, bro? He's not an attorney anymore. He lost his badge. What tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive. So tangled we catch ourselves in the process. Pain aged better, dude. I don't know. He looks nice. He looks nice. So tangled we catch ourselves in the process. Mr. Wright? Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. What are you saying? Why not consider the other possibility? How did he lose his badge? We don't know. Is it, like, told or not? It hasn't been said yet. It's been hinted, he was earlier, he was having an argument with Apollo, and he's like, oh, you think I cheated at the poker game, right? Because of what I did 7 years ago? So, I don't know. Maybe he cheated. Lord to heaven. There was another person in the room at the time of the murder. That there was another person.
Right, like Mr. Wright was saying before recess.
Single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder. And the one who swapped the card didn't know 2 colors of cards were being used. I'm excited. I sure am excited to be awake for that. The 4th person.
This theory again. Your 4th person doesn't exist.
Indeed. That's why I decided to bring this case to court. Here, where there's no escape and no chance for deception. The perfect place to catch the real criminal. Whoa! He's like the mastermind. He's pulling all the strings. The real criminal? And look, a clue to the real criminal's identity was kindly provided for us. And right at the beginning of the trial, no less. What? Apollo? Perhaps you know what I'm talking about? Sorry. I have no idea what you're saying. Remember what I said? I told you who it was, Apollo. The judge can't be surprised by Phoenix revealing the real killer. That's like his thing. The 4th person who swapped the cards made one critical error. He or she wasn't considering the color on the backs of the cards. Right? But how could such an obvious mistake occur? He must be colorblind or an idiot. It's his whole shtick. It was Godot. No, not Godot. He's in prison. Probably dead by this point. They probably executed him by now. Please say I spelled that right. Yeah, I think you did. I think that is. Godot is what? Oh, Matt. Oh. Anyway, the cards were used for the last game were red. There was one person here in our court who thought those cards were blue. It was Winston Bain. He's the killer. Please, just get rid of him. Yeah, I had that impression too, but why? Well, Apollo, I think you can figure out who it was.
It's not me, I swear.
Who is this fourth person? Diego Armando. Got him. Lock him up again. Why do I always get put on the spot like this? Let's hear what the defense has to say. Who was it? Just tell it. You clearly know who it is. Who thought the cards used in the final game were blue? Well, this guy's dead. This guy's literally the tutorial prosecutor. Clearly not her. Obviously wasn't Phoenix. That leaves one last person. Kristoff. As I expected. Was I wrong? Your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair. Sure am glad I'm chilling in hell with Mimi. Wait, it was Kristoff? It has to be. He's literally the only person it could be. I was right? Kristoff Gavin, you were the fourth person that night. But of course Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards. How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. You can't tell which of the cards are blue, the ones on the floor or the table. But look, you can see the colors in this photo. Yeah, but when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light. Oh yeah. Oh, flashback to like an hour ago. It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that. A game in the purest sense. A competition, Your Honor. A competition? Yes, a test of wits. A silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame, know its final outcome. This is a black and white flashback, though. I don't even know what color he was talking about. Because he said it. Well, Kristoff? Whoa, he screwed Phoenix? All those years ago? That's crazy. Whoa. I could see it. Mr. Gavin. That's how Phoenix had... No, I'm not gonna say it. Mr. Gavin. I'm not gonna say it. Mr. Gavin, is something the matter? What? Nothing. No, nothing. Excuse me, it's just so sudden. Right? You aren't seriously accusing me, are you? Oh, Kristoff. You know, even I'd never take a joke this far. See, I don't need to explain it. You got where the joke I was going with. You got the joke. You got the joke. Kristoff's the other father. Listen, where else did the baby come from, okay? He's got a kid. And you said he was screwing Kristoff. A woman. Look at this man. Look at this man. Doesn't look like there would be a woman in his life. He's bi. You know that meme? You know that meme where the crying kid, it's like, get a girlfriend, son, or a boyfriend, he's bi. Damn, you pull no one for real. That's him. That's Phoenix, right? He gets no one. You know it. Even I never take a joke this far. This is gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb. This is insanity. I don't even... Listen, everything's insanity. No! No! No, she didn't. The defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder. I assure you I'm quite sane. But what possible connection could Mr. Gavin have to the victim? I wasn't aware that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either. Yes, but Mr. Gavin and the victim have never even met. Well, what if they have? Phoenix has... That's what... That's... Why do you think I was making that joke? That's the only reason I was making... His hat says Papa. His hat says Papa. I just clocked it. There is a possibility after all. It does say Papa, doesn't it? In his locket he's wearing, he showed Apollo earlier, he's got a picture of his daughter. So he's got a daughter. They may have met that night before the game started. What are you suggesting? Is this the truth Mr. Wright was staying silent about? Oh, only one thing to do. Is her name like Griffin? Well, he hasn't said her name yet. Oh. Did his daughter rise from the ashes? Yeah. That's how she was born into this world. The defense, Mr. Wright, the defense would like to request that you testify to the court. The defense would like to request no such thing. Mr. Gavin, testimonies must relate to the case. How could anything happen before that game of poker be related? What's the plan for getting? Oh, I'm not sure I follow you, Mr. Gavin. As I explained before, the defense believes that Miss Orley... Am I to assume you speak for Mr. Justice in this? He is the defense, not you. Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you. Oh, okay. Does the court, in your opinion, need to hear Mr. Wright's testimony? Yeah. Man, that's the house. This was Mr. Wright's strategy. He was planning this all along. And I intend to see it through. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court. At 2, Justice, you would betray me, your teacher. Sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty, it's about the truth. You're a dirty murderer, Mr. Gavin, aren't you? Very well. The defendant, Mr. Wright, will take the stand, please. Appetite before murder. That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We made out. We sat at the table in this photograph. Well, that's crazy that he said that. Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. That girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin. Mr. Gavin, you were at the Borscht Bowl Club on the night of the murder? I dine with him rather frequently. Okay, Phoenix. And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder? Guys, I need to sleep, but I've been having some issues about relationship. I need to ask a question. Go ahead. Ask the question. Ask away. If I was into Mimi when she was pretending to be Eni, and he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder, quite against my will, I had become involved in a murder. I thought I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him. You were planning this all along, weren't you? And I was also into Mimi after she got revealed. Which am I into? Were you into her for her appearances? We need that clarification, because that will change my answer. You were planning this all along, weren't you, Wright? Both personalities. And appearance had to play. Well, the appearance, I mean, you definitely like Eni, because it's Eni's face. I'd say you just, because I guess Mimi was putting on a show. We don't know if Eni really acted like that. So I guess you like Mimi, because you liked her personalities. Her one she put on for show, and her real one. Just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial. I'll go to hell when I die then, thank you. Good night, Matt. The only thing I want is the truth. As I did back then, and now. I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took on your defense. It appears that I was wrong. Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Justice? Sir? He's lying, and you're going to expose him. In court? Understood, sir. Mr. Gavin versus Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial?
Please let this be a normal field trip.
That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat at the table. This photograph is a lot of them. Oh, man.
Hold it!
5 minutes? So the two of them could have passed in the restaurant during that time? That would have been a fateful encounter, to be sure.
Oh, Mr. Wright. What was it you said? Christoph Gavin and Shady Smith may have met?
I believe I did say that.
Here I was all nervous about this meeting, and now we hear they just passed in the hall.
It does seem a little weak as a pretense for murder.
That guy was so ugly, I'm gonna kill him.
Oh, it would be. If that were all that really happened. Come on, Mr. Wright. What are you hiding this time? Oh, the trap fails to hit the waitress. The girl's not that cold.
Hold it!
You made the call to the police from the first floor of the restaurant, correct? Exactly. Cell phones don't get a signal down in the hideout. Was anyone else on the first floor at the time? Not a soul. It was the middle of the night after all. So there, in the darkened restaurant, I called the cops. After making the call, I returned to the hideout. It didn't seem right to leave the injured waitress alone. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead.
Hold it!
And when you returned, the victim was already dead, yes. I'll admit I was a little startled when I walked in. A little? He was bleeding from his forehead after all. I guess I'd be startled too if I walked in on a scene like that. Dead, blood streaming from his forehead. My full health, so I'll try it. How could he? It doesn't look like you can see.
Objection!
Okay. Okay, it was right. It was right. Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes. Take a look at this photograph of the crime scene. See the victim here? He's wearing a hat. I wouldn't think you could see blood on his forehead. Good point. Alright. Justice. Next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more into it. Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court? I forgot to mention something. Of course you did. Of course you did, you sneaky bastard. I was the one who put that hat on his head. Okay. You what? You put the hat on the dead man's head? He wore it through our entire poker game. After calling the police when I returned to the scene, his head was in full view, shining bright, just like in this photograph. And I picked his hat up off the floor and put it on his head. But why'd you do a thing like that? All I can say is, I'm sorry. That's the only thing I touched at the crime scene. So, Miss Orley didn't see it? It being the victim's, his head? I think not. She was out cold. I believed I was the only one who witnessed his head. Oh, here we go again. Mr. Gavin? Pardon. Just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case. Hey, he's still our client, isn't he? In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid decisive contradictions call for decisive evidence. Oh, push him harder, Justice. Break him. Okay, jeez, Christoph. Just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO. Why do I get the feeling we're not on our client's side anymore? Could you explain why you called Mr. Gavin? I'd obviously gotten involved in a rather sticky affair. I figured Kristoff's law offices would give me a friend rate for my defense fees. Kristoff is so obviously guilty. It's actually kind of, it's so interesting to see, like, a defense attorney be, like, you know, like the guilty one for once, like the villain. It's very interesting. Glad to hear you intend to pay. Oh, I'll pay in full, Kristoff. It was I who got you involved, after all. You may find the price of your defense quite high, my friend. Good friend. Quite high. Is this the truth that Mr. Wright was talking about? Justice? You know, Tutorial's definitely gonna be important later, I feel. Oh, definitely. You had dinner with Mr. Gavin? That's kinda... That's a little, yeah, he dines with me at the Borscht Bowl Club quite frequently. Oh, I bet he does. We were enjoying our usual dinner at our usual spot. As usual. Usual? I always eat at the table closest to the piano. I see. Where Mr. Smith was sitting. So, the plates and such on the table were from your dinner? Kristoff was dining on Phoenix. Not with Phoenix. Indeed, the remnants of my meal with Kristoff. We dined for 2 hours, then Kristoff left. After that, J.D. Smith walked in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Oh, thank you very much. And the trap fails me. About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga Orley mentioned.
The plan was simple. Elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts.
They dined for 2 hours? Impressive.
I was to plant a card in Mr. Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull the planted card, and the trap would snap shut. Real quick, I wanna see if this looks better. Transform. How does that look? Oh! That looks so much nicer. Yes. Okay. The thing is, I didn't have it full screen before because, on my, display on Streamlabs, it looks bad. Like, it looks worse. But yeah, that's so much nicer now. I'm watching it on my, little tablet thing. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a lot nicer. There we go. See, this is the sorting out technical difficulty stream. This is a long tutorial, by the way. He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut. You swapped the cards! Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Yeah, harmless prank in essence. It was by a quirk of fate that I'd happened to discover it. A quirk? I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. Card she planted. Yeah, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of Hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card.
before the game. Disposed? Where? There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle. An empty bottle of grape juice? The murder weapon? Oh. Yeah, I rolled it up and shoved it in. The colored glass makes it hard to see. A battle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. There's no card in it. That sounds like a terrific drama. Card inside the murder weapon? That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look. There's nothing there. It's gone. Mr. Wright, the poker head of courtroom number 3 approves of this battle of wits. Please revise your testimony with this new information. Discover this round in this game and dispose of the card in the bottle. No, you didn't.
Objection!
Mr. Wright, if I may? Yeah? I've examined this bottle and I don't see any card in here. No? But what, Mr. Wright? Surely isn't all you have to say for yourself? Can't say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however. Huh? Perhaps a 5th person came and took it out. Oh, and a 6th person could have helped it. He's so angry that he got called out. But Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client. My apologies, Your Honor. I won't have you disparaging our investigation either. You looked inside that bottle. There was nothing. What's going on? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again? Or did the card just disappear like magic? I believe that's enough of that. Mr. Gavin? This witness's testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago. Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Kristoff. I never knew. I believe it was you who threw the first stone. Oh, there's so much drama here. There's some beef going on. They're so petty. Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never. Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here. When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well. Oh, reason? That reason is right here. Your cell phone? That night, recall that I spoke with defense attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case, I recorded our conversation. Oh, what's this? Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. Kristoff, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. What's this? Game not going well? Something like that. That gentleman who challenged you, he turned out to be good? He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him hard. I mean, someone cracked that flawless bone china pate? I don't know. It wasn't you, was it? Me, please. The cop should be here any minute. I'm in your hands, should it come to that. Bone china plate? A kind of porcelain, very smooth and shiny. And not plate, but pate. I believe he was referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead. The court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating my forehead. Wait a second. Something's not right about that phone call. So after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Borscht Bowl Club? Most certainly. Then how did he know? When did he see his bone china pate? Oh, that's right. Yeah. That was when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Ooh.
troubled, I returned to the crime scene. And when I spotted Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you'd like to explain this to the court. Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So, this is your reason. The reason why you put the victim's hat back on. Your point, Mr. Gavin? It's come down to this, has it? Phoenix Wright. Phoenix comes across as so clever when you don't hear his thoughts real. When you're looking at him from an outside perspective, he's actually pretty smart, yeah. That's Phoenix Wright. Order! I will have order. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. I believe this court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear Defense Attorney Gavin's testimony? Well, as the prosecutor, Very well. We'll break for 10 minutes, after which Mr. Gavin will take the stand for a cross-examination. Are we all clear on that? Crystal clear, Your Honor. Very well. This will be the final recess for the day. Makes you realize how he gave Miles a run for his money. Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chamber. Who would have thought today would turn out like this? Oh, may I? Oh, hello. What? Hello, sir. Please pick a card.
What's this all about? Is this one okay?
Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You'll need a trump card to make it.
A trump card?
The card you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely, and the game is yours. That's all.
Oh, it's the missing ace. An ace. Where do I remember that card from? Now, strange girl, why do you have the 5th ace? Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces and Mr. Wright's 2. It is 5 aces in total. It is true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating. I swear to you. The missing 5th ace. Wait. This blotch of red. Is this blood? Ew. You have your trump card.
Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw. The truth. My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it.
This bloodstained card is my trump card for finding the truth? I fell deep into thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl. I'd seen her recently, but where? That's when I made the connection. His daughter. But she's wearing blue. She changed from red to blue. Wow. Those are interesting colors for her. Red and blue, huh? Bloody ace added to the court record. Oh, Apollo's all alone. Alright. I think we're gonna have to break today. We're gonna have to accuse Mr. Gavin of murder next time we play this game. Thank you guys for showing up. I'm tired and I actually have a lot of work to do, so I gotta go. But it was fun. I'm so excited to be playing Apollo Justice. I know very little about this game. I know a bit. I know a bit, but not much. right now.